welcome to a special Nothing But Static. That was so fun. I got to do that with the music this time. I don't normally get to do that. It's very exciting.
There was some added dancing. It was a beautiful thing.
So, yeah, we were all dancing, which is fun. So, for those of you who don't know, this is our yearly Afterparty episode. We did say at the last one we weren't going to do our usual drunk episode. Now, that doesn't mean drinking won't be happening today, but it does mean we're doing something a little bit different. We are joined by a very special guest. So some of you will know from previous episodes, but please welcome to the podcast, Roni.
Hi. How are you? Yay, I'm here.
We're very happy to have you back. You
Thank
are
you.
always a popular addition to the podcast.
Oh, that's very kind of people. I have to
we
be
got-
popular somewhere because I'm not in my own home.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. If you're not popular somewhere, then, you know, you
Start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast. Or we wouldn't have you on here, let's be honest. We're very picky. And if you're wondering why in the world have you got Roni on, that seems like that doesn't solve the not drinking problem, Dan. Well, we're doing something a little bit different. So what I realised the problem with the drinking episode was the only purpose of that episode was to drink. That was all we did. It was called the drunk episode. That's all we were sitting down to record to do.
Did it take you 8 years to realise that?
Yes. No, it took me throwing up on podcast for that.
Yeah,
to
for
happen
me, we stopped because of the carnage of last year.
I am so glad you didn't include that recording.
Yeah, we debated it so much.
Oh, it
We
was the
debated
most.
that
It was the
so
biggest.
much.
It was. I would argue it's the biggest disagreement we've had. In fact, I think it's the only time we've ever
We've properly
disagreed on what should go on and what shouldn't go on the podcast.
True.
Yeah,
Gross.
it's bad.
Yeah, it was bad. So, this year, we'll do our drinking, but it'll be lighter. There'll be a little bit of drinking happening, but it's because we're actually going to fill the podcast with something else, which is a quiz. Because everyone's been doing them at the moment, Zoom quizzes. So we thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a movie, TV-based quiz? So the way this is going to work today is I am Quizmaster Dan. I have developed scientifically a quiz in a lab for several months. That's a lie.
You got to do something
Last
with
2
your
days.
with your
You gotta do
lockdown
something
time,
with
haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've been on furlough for several weeks, and what I've done is this quiz. There are a couple of rounds. There are 6 in total. There is a movie round, a TV round, another movie round, another TV round, a mixed one. It's a bit of both, and then the final round is generously can be described as a sports round. There will be 56 points on. Available. There's a bonus question in there somewhere that I'll come to. And I do have a tiebreak question should anybody, if you guys have the same score by the end of all that. Although that seems unlikely with the number of questions we have.
Yeah.
So the way it's going to work is I have examples for each round because some of the questions are structured in a bit of a weird way. They're not traditional quiz questions. We will, generally speaking, go through each round's questions and then go through each round's answers and check where the scores are up to. There is an exception to that, though. 2, in fact. The 6th round, the special one's going to be a bit different for the obvious reason that it's a bit of a different round anyway. But also round 2, I think, we're going to do question, answer, because it's an audio-based round. And what I found when we tested a similar premise on a quiz I did a couple of weeks ago, the wait between the original audio clip and the answer... too much. People had to wanted to rehear the original audio, so we're going to do question answer on that second round. Each question is simply worth a point. I'm not doing half points. I'm not doing I was close. There are a couple of questions I will allow multiple answers on.
These are the rules of a man that has done too many quizzes in lockdown. I promise you,
Super
neither
specific
Roni and I.
rules.
Yeah, neither Roni or I are sat here going, God, I hope he clarifies whether he's going to do 1 point or half a point.
We've had a lot of, on the quizzes I've done, I have done at least one a week since we started. The quizzes I've done, there have been a lot. There have been a lot of I'm kind of right. Can I get half a point? No, you absolutely can't get half a point for being kind of right. That's not how quizzes work.
That is straight white man thinking.
Yeah.
That is like, you know what? I kind of deserve a little bit though because part of me was right.
Because I don't know if you've seen my skin color or my penis, but I definitely deserve
Why? Hold on.
some benefit.
Dan, can I?
Straight white man.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the difference between the penis of a straight man and a homosexual man? Why is your penis the identifier?
Well, the identifier was man.
Ah, right, okay, right, fair enough. I thought you were using that to, identify your
Indicate
sexuality.
Yeah. Well, they're labelled, aren't they? Everyone's penis. When you're born, your penis is labelled straight. Oh, no, that not a thing. Oh, just me then. Weird.
Like with the little tag.
Yeah, they put a little tag on it. They figure it out. That's how they do it. It's worth noting this isn't a particularly serious quiz. These are silly questions. They're not necessarily so. I do.
Doesn't
pride
mean
is
Roni
on the line.
and I can't take it seriously.
I was going to say, I'm going to take this very seriously.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that might happen. But with that in mind, the spirit of the quiz is quite simply, it's very dumb, and you will all lose brain cells both taking part in it and listening to it for the listeners. So,
is it worth just saying for the first time ever, we are recording via Zoom via 3, because obviously we've done a socially distanced after party, so we're all in separate homes. We're all on, we're not recording the sound through Zoom. We've all got a mic, but it might, might be, you might hear typing, you might hear more noise than you usually would on our podcast. So apologies for that.
Weird stuff.
I have to say, as an introvert, social distance partying, kind of my thing.
Oh,
has this been your like a party awakening? Like you were the one that was like, I'm going to stay in tonight, but now you're just like, guys, are we drinking tonight? And you're like the extrovert now.
I am not I'm a very social person. I've got a lot of friends who I love dearly, but I am not the person who throughout lockdown has been like, I really miss just hanging out with my friends. I'm like, I can take it or leave it. It's fine.
I've been like,
you mean nothing to me.
Eighth movie of the day. Why not?
Oh, I wish I could have done that. Yeah. That's been my regret. Has been like I went and been productive. I don't want to be productive. I want to watch TV and sit on my backside all day.
It was because it's halfway through the year, so I write down all the movies that I watch, not including repeats. As it was more of a curiosity thing that I started doing.
Have you compared to previous years to see the difference?
No, I haven't, but I have a feeling, I can tell you now, I have a feeling that in 6 months I've watched more movies than I did all of last year.
So what's your number then? What's your number at the moment?
So the total amount of movies that I've watched so far this year is, from half a year is 509.
Wow.
That is incredible.
And the total movies I saw last year was 294.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to win the quiz. Okay.
Well, there are 2 movie rounds, but there are 2 TV rounds.
Yeah, no, I know.
So, and then a mixed one. So,
I
tell you though, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea how hard or easy this quiz is. I know the first round is quite difficult. So, hands up. This first round did appear in a previous quiz I did, and everyone found it extremely difficult. But they weren't necessarily the most movie-going crowd.
Yeah, they watched 598 movies this year, Dan.
I said 509. Thank you very much.
Sorry to add an extra
70 movies.
Yeah, 91, whatever I added.
Right, so
let's do it.
First, it's Dan's super duper NBS after party quiz thingy, a purely superficial game of guesswork. Because
is
some
that
of these
going to
questions...
be the title of the episode?
Sure,
I would like it to be.
I hope so.
Then it is.
I know you've got a title for the next episode, but I've got a title for the next episode, which we'll talk about at the end.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. So, so should we start with the first round?
Mm-hmm.
Should we get into it?
Yes.
So, round one,
let's do it.
When this works, is guess the movie from its translated title.
Ah, excellent.
So some movies get quite weird titles when they move to other countries, and I've got some examples. For example, everyone remembers Boogie Nights, right? It's a kind of fun thing that exists. Well, in China it was called His Powerful Device Make Him Famous.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah, that's
exactly the
that's the plot of the movie.
Or my actual favourite one, and this is too easy to use in the quiz, but it's so good I made a second example. Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me when it went to Malaysia, became Austin Powers, the spy who behaved very nicely around me.
Ah.
So the premise of the quiz probably seems obvious at this point. I will give you the translated title,
that's
and
a
you
much
must try
more post-Me Too title.
Yeah. Malaysia were ahead of the game.
That's what it's going to be. That's the Netflix title from now on.
That's what happens if it goes to Disney Plus when Disney eventually swallows everything.
The spy who behaved himself and was very nice and respected me.
And respected all women and people of different faiths.
The spy who got consent. I will say I didn't know it's that, but no, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's fine.
Yeah, he's good.
You know, you think of a joke, you're like, is that a joke I can make? I think so. Yeah, because he did get consent, as he should.
Always, I'm sure. He's a respectful man, is Austin Powers, I'm sure. Oh dear. So that's the idea. We've got 10 questions, which is going to be 10 translated titles. You've got to try and work out what movie it's. Oh god, I've already had a message from Zoom that we're running out of time. We can't have been on here for 40 minutes already.
Well, we've not been recording. We were chatting for a bit first.
Oh dear. All right. So we'll have to. We'll go until we go. That's one of those things. So we'll get some of this round out of the way. Question number 1. If you leave me, I delete you.
I've got a guess.
So write down your answers, I guess. We'll go through answers for listeners.
Quick question.
After each round. Sure.
As soon as we started this, someone started mowing their lawn, and I realised I have my window open. Can you hear it?
I can't, but the mic might be picking it up. So, are you okay to close the window?
Hold on
maybe?
2 seconds.
Yeah. Quite frankly, Ronnie, Dan and I are boiling, and you should be boiling too.
I don't know if she heard that. I think she took her headphones out to close the window.
But...
Yes, welcome to the real world and nothing but static.
Part of the fun of the after party, Ronnie, is getting so hot you want to pass out. That is tradition.
We always do it in the summer, and we always have to have the windows closed for the same reason, and it always ends up being extraordinarily hot. We can't have fans on. It's a pain in the backside. So, has everybody got a guess for that question?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a ghost.
I feel like Ghost Dad would be too obvious.
Is there a movie called Ghost Dad?
I think there is, isn't there?
Yeah. Bill Cosby film, isn't it?
Possibly.
Oh,
Bill Cosby.
I might have to watch that.
It's you know what? It's with the Cosby of it aside.
Yeah.
Ghost Dad's a fun film. Well, I don't know if it holds up now. Actually, I remember as a kid really enjoying Ghost Dad. It's like a silly comedy. The dad dies, but he's a ghost, and he wants to talk to his family, but he can't. And he's in the house, and like wacky things are happening because he's a ghost. He's like sticking to the walls and stuff. And it's got some of that really bad, like early '90s CGI. Like computer effects. Oh, it's awful.
Well, I mean, if Chris can choose The Girl Next Door for a retro rewind, I'm sure you can bust out Ghost Dad.
At some point, I think we might have to, actually. It's not on my list, but it should be. It's a classic.
It is Bill Cosby. Just double check.
Yeah.
Chris, I forgot to say, I watched that film.
The Girl Next Door?
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, you owe Ronnie an apology.
No, it's not
it's
good.
Terrible.
To be fair,
the problems
mild spoilers. Mild spoilers. I've chosen a worse film than even that for the start of the next set. So I'm sorry. You'll find out. Well, listen to the final episode of Rewind Reviews coming later this month.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Plug snuck in there. Yeah,
2 weeks from this.
Question 3: the young people who traverse dimensions while wearing sunglasses. I love this one. It's a good one.
I feel like the sunglasses is a bit of a red herring.
Once you guys have got guesses down, let me know. We'll move on. I do love this game.
I got a guess. Not confident.
Yeah, I'm not confident in mine either.
You shouldn't be in any of these because I'll be honest with you. Like what we discovered when we did this round on the other quiz was that there are a lot of films that these cover. And when you hear the film they do cover, you go, of course. But there are other answers you can give that do make equal levels of sense. Question 4: mysterious murder in Snowy Cream. Which is my favourite.
Oh.
Because it just sounds like utter filth.
Oh, wow. Is this on Pornhub?
I think I've seen it.
It's in my bookmarks.
Is cream literal, Dan? If I may ask a question.
No.
Right. Okay.
Oh gosh, I have no freaking clue. Hold on.
Okay, I'm going to stick with my first guess then. If cream isn't,
this is one that genuinely, like, when people heard it, went because there aren't as many correct answers possible for this one, and when you hear, you'll go, of course it is. It's exactly what it is. It couldn't be anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet. Question 5. Urban neurotic.
Oh, I feel like I know this. Oh, it's going to really annoy me.
Now, while there is one answer, strictly speaking, for this, there are a couple of answers I will accept. This is one of those questions where there are a few I'll give you. So you could, this is a good one to take a stab in the dark at.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see this giant bottle of Corona I've got. Look at that.
Oh,
it's bigger than my head. It's bigger than my head. I normally drink straight from the bottle, but I've had to decant into a glass.
Would you like to hear my conspiracy theory about Fast and Furious 9?
Sure.
Yeah, go on.
Now is definitely the time for that.
Obviously.
Well, right when COVID first hit, before it got really bad and everyone had to lock down, and they moved Fast and Furious 9 to 2021, do you think it's because they had to Photoshop all the Coronas out of Fast and Furious?
Yeah, almost certainly.
And add, like, I don't know, Budweiser or something.
But, like, once you take out all the Coronas, that's 50% of the movie down the drain. What if they have to remove all the references to family? That's the other 50% of the movie. It's just going to be an egg in a vest on screen for 2 hours, staring into the camera.
Extensive reshoots.
I mean, I did laugh when it first happened. There were all those pictures of, like, various shops that had their shelves cleared of all, everything, really, toilet roll and obviously, but alcohol too. Understandably so. If there was anything you need during this crisis, to be honest with you need the alcohol more than you needed the fucking toilet roll and the wet wipes and stuff. The only thing left on American shelves was Corona. And
it's crazy.
So much at that.
I feel for them. Like,
as a company, imagine the unfortunate. Yeah, they were so glad when people started referring to it as COVID. They were like, "Oh, phew! I guess it's a bit off the hook, doesn't it?" Okay. Question 6. 6 naked pigs. I shouldn't have said that title while Roni was taking a drink. I've realised.
6 naked pigs.
Mm-hmm. And again, this is another one where there is really only one obvious answer, and when you hear it, you'll go, "Oh, for God's sake, why didn't I think of that?"
Okay. 6 naked pigs.
While you guys think, I will add that if the Zoom call does end, leave your mics recording so we don't have to sync them up again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is this also on Pornhub?
Yes.
I really can't think of anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, alternative...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of... but I'll be blunt. I'm trying to think of films that involve pigs that isn't Babe.
Hold on.
Not always literal. I will say that. You do keep in mind that with these translations...
I did guess something.
Ooh, good. We ready to move on, Chris, or are you still thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just change it to Babe 2, Pig in the City. Carry on.
There you go. This one was the one that most people got in the last one, which is Night of the Night. Night is in of the round table, and night is in of the evening time. Night of the Night. I will tell you, this was from France, this title. It's weird, actually, because when I was researching this, I really expected pretty much all of them to just be China, because China famously give movies weird names. Like, I think Die Hard in China is titled He Has No Shoes, which is just insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Are you ready for the next one?
Yep.
I do like that China, just as their titles for movies, they just have, like, bits of plot points.
Yeah.
Just like just
sort of like not even the main plot.
No, just little details.
Yeah. Right. So the last question obviously was the Night of the Night one. We both got answers for that at this point.
Yeah. Not confident about any of these, but yep.
That's again. I did say it was a game of purely of guesswork. Please do not touch the old woman. Is question 8. It's a great title.
Again, to live by.
Even if you don't know, you would see that movie. If you went to, I can't remember which country this one is particularly from. We will find out when we go through the answers. And saw that on a marquee, you'd be like, "I'm in." I want to know what that's about. What is that? What could that be? Yeah, very good. So, are we happy for the next question?
Not really.
Yeah, I ain't got anything yet.
Oh, I like you. Okay, we'll give you guys a second. I'll do.
Trying to think of pandemic movies that start with an old lady.
It's a good shout. Oh yeah, because maybe did Contagion start with an old lady?
No, it starts with Gwyneth Paltrow and a bat.
It does start. Oh yeah. Spoilers, but yeah, good. I love that. I'd say that's a good one. That is a good one. It's weird how much that movie predicted.
Okay.
Like, watching it back recently, I was like, wow, they nailed it. Like, they really did.
There's like
the research.
A pig and a bat, and yeah.
Yeah, they nailed how it started. They nailed pretty much how it spread. They nailed how certain governments would react. They also nailed, like, the crazies that had theories of, like, fake medicines that could cure it. Like, it's just insane. I mean, they didn't predict the president would be one of those people, but they got so much else of it right.
Nobody guessed the president would recommend drinking bleach, but, you know.
No. Just some things you just can't prepare for, Chris.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've been, like, sitting under UV lights for days, and I'm absolutely fine.
Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
This one is probably quite one of the more famous ones. The title of the movie in China was Superpower Dare Die Team. The Superpower Dare Die Team. And I'll give you a clue. This is a more recent movie. And let me frame that properly. Like, within the last 4 or 5 years.
Within the last 4 or 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
I've got...
This is one of the more recent ones on this list, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm going to stick with that guess. Yep.
Yeah? Ronnie?
Yep, I got it.
I'm drunk and you're a prostitute.
What's the worst that could happen?
Actually, no, let me rephrase it. It's I'm a drunk and you're a prostitute. That's slightly different.
Okay.
How bad is it that that's the only one I felt actually in any way confident on?
That is weird, because I actually think that's the hardest one.
Oh, maybe I'm going obvious and I'm wrong then.
Or, you just happen to know the answer. Like, I suppose that happened. I mean, Slumdog Millionaire as a film has got this really interesting idea that you might just be lucky enough to have happened to have stumbled across every bit of information you need over the course of your life to have the answer in that moment. So maybe you happen to know it. If we've both got guesses, are we ready to move on to answers?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
But...
I'm not confident.
So, the first one was If You Leave Me, I Delete You.
I'm fairly confident on this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this one was from Italy. Chris, what did you think it was?
I think it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's what I have.
You both got this one right. Very good.
Boom.
Point to each. Excellent stuff. The second one was He's a Ghost, which is the Chinese film, the Chinese title for which film? Ronnie?
I think it's a massive spoiler, but I think it's The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I originally put Casper, and then I was like, no, I reckon that's a spoiler, and it's The Sixth Sense.
You are exactly right. It is The Sixth Sense. Good work.
Spoiler for a film that came out, I don't know, 20 years ago.
That was its title at release. Like, imagine that. Like you're going into a cinema and that's on the marquee. Like, oh, it's a film about a ghost. Like, insane that they got away with that. The Young People Who Traverse Dimensions While Wearing Sunglasses. This is the French title. I will give you guys a little clue now we've already got answers. That this one I think is slightly... I mean, they're actually slightly inaccurate with what's happening here. But what did you guys think this was about? Guesses?
Well,
Chris?
I went between two, and now you said that, it makes me think it would be... No, okay, I think I'm wrong, but I put Ready Player One.
I had a reasonable guess.
I put The Matrix.
Ronnie has it. It was The Matrix.
Yeah.
Sorry. Was that your other answer, Chris?
No. My other answer was Back to the Future, and I thought the thing they got wrong was like they weren't all young people that traversed.
Do you know?
Yeah. So what threw
me?
Of
Back to the Future as well.
It's the dimensions part.
Yeah.
They're not going through dimensions. That title is inaccurate.
Yeah.
So anyway. Next question. Mysterious Murder in Snowy Cream, which was the Chinese title for which porn film? No, I'm kidding.
I guessed Fargo.
I put Fargo as well, but I'm assuming
you both got it right.
Yay!
Is that right? You both got that right. Very good. I'm impressed. I'm glad you got that one. Yeah, I think that's actually quite a good title. It's intriguing.
I've picked quite a kind of an indie darling for number 5 as well. I can tell you now, that's definitely wrong.
Well, we'll see. So, Urban Neurotic was the German title for which film, Ronnie?
Oh, I just went.
Or is it Chris?
Yeah, there's no competitive advantage here, Ronnie, by me going first.
All
I put City Slackers.
City Slickers.
Slackers, yeah. I'm pretty sure is wrong because it doesn't even make much sense. Because Slackers.
Wait, City Slickers or Slackers?
City Slackers.
City Slackers. I don't think is a film.
No, it's not.
Isn't it? I always thought that film was called that.
There's Slackers or City Slickers are two movies that exist.
Oh, then we'll go City Slickers then.
Okay, Ronnie.
I put The Burbs.
The Burbs. I'm afraid neither of you got this right. It's Annie Hall.
All right.
Woody Allen. Any Woody Allen movie would have, like, you know, once you're like, I mean, an urban neurotic. Anyone else fit that description better than Woody Allen?
No,
yeah. Question 6. 6 naked pigs.
Okay.
Ronnie?
This was a pure guess because I have no idea. I actually put The Full Monty.
Yeah, after putting Babe, I went back where we were changing and changed it to The Full Monty.
You're both exactly right.
Yay.
Very well done, Full Monty. That's one of my favourite ones because it's exactly right. It's like it's a perfect description.
I like the use of pigs as well. Like it's a slang word.
Yeah. It's
not. Yeah.
It's very well done. It's very well done. So, question 7, Night of the Night. I assume both of you got this one, but I could be wrong. Any guesses, Chris?
Well, I don't know if it's too obvious though. I went The Dark Knight.
I went The Dark Knight as well.
And you are both correct.
Sweet.
It's one of the easier ones, but yeah, good one. Good work. That was the title in Spain, would you believe? So, please, do not touch the old woman, which was the Italian title for which film?
I'm
Ronnie,
pretty sure I don't have this right, but I just put Throw Mama from the Train.
Just a great guess, just all round.
Because I watched it recently,
I think she was very fragile. She was emotionally distressed, and everyone needed to keep away from her. So I've gone with Titanic, and I think it's referring to the old lady, to future Rose.
Both wrong, I'm afraid. This one was The Producers.
I would have fucking loved it if it was Titanic.
That would have been great. I'd have been into that. I'd have enjoyed that. So yeah, that was the title for it in Italy. Superpower Dare Die Team was the Chinese title for which movie? Chris, I believe.
Well, just the Avengers. But I think I might be wrong.
I tell you what, that's actually. I'll tell you it's not right, but I will say it's a very good guess.
Is it Suicide Squad?
No, unfortunately, an equally very good guess. You won't believe this. That was Ghostbusters, the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So let's just think, does it?
Suicide. It makes. I tell you what, it makes more.
Superpower Dare Die Team.
Well, it makes more sense for Suicide Squad
because they're daring to die. None of them in that movie are like, you know what, I might die, but
they're fighting ghosts, I guess, who are dead. But
yeah. I assume it means it's the ghost.
Right, I think it might be on the next one, Ronnie's turn. But I'm so curious because Chris felt most confident about this one. I might get Chris to answer this one first.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Chris.
Unless I'm taking it too literally, Pretty Woman.
That's what I guessed.
It was actually, I'm afraid, a different film. It was Leaving Las Vegas.
Right.
The only movie that Nicolas Cage got an Academy Award for.
And doesn't he deserve another one?
No.
Yes.
No. Can you believe he has an Oscar? Like, it breaks my brain slightly.
I think he's great.
I'm glad you added yet, because in a world where last year I was going, man, it's crazy that Adam Sandler didn't even get nominated. Like anything can happen.
That's fair. So would you like to hear the scores at the end of that round? Actually, you can confirm. I'll tell you what I think you've got, and then you can confirm that that's correct from what you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, I've got you on 5.
Yep, that's correct.
And Ronnie, I have you with 6.
Yeah.
Bingo. Excellent. Round 2.
Ooh.
Now, audio round. Name the TV show from the backwards version of its theme song.
What's wrong with you?
Jeez.
Bloody hell.
It's not necessarily as hard as you think, but yeah, this one's gonna.
Okay, I'm ready.
This one...
Yeah.
So,
right. Jeez.
Question 1. Are you ready? Oh no, this is the sample. Example. Sorry, I have an example.
It's pretty much...
It's the same.
It's the
I've
same
noticed,
backwards
which is why I
as it is forwards.
So I went and got 11, knowing I had 10 questions and an example. And when I reversed that song, which I reversed all these myself, I was like, it sounds the same.
Yeah, it's exactly
so I
the
used
same.
it as the example.
Do you think
both
that was
know
the point?
that's.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
glad you've lured us into that false sense of security then.
That was
Here's an example that is
Stranger Things.
easier than anything I'm about to play you.
Yeah, it is easier, but some of these are like I played some of them Nadia as it's like a test, and she got some of them pretty quickly. So I feel like you guys are gonna do better at this than you think from the sound from the initial premise. So
I'm amazed that you tweeted yesterday that this will be up Sunday. Now it's becoming how evident how much editing you have to do to all of this.
I know it's a lot, but I'm excited to get it out there. So yeah, I'm excited. So let's do it. First question. Well, you just heard it. Oh, that's the actual how it's supposed to sound. I'm now playing the actual show, which again is identical. So, question 1: what show is this theme from?
Have you removed words, vocals, or?
No, I haven't removed vocals. No, I'll be honest with you. This is a big hint, and will help you guys narrow it down. I haven't used any song with vocals in any of these because I found that when I did use songs with vocals, they became very, very apparent very quickly. Vocals really gave it away. So these are all instrumentals. So think of just shows that have instrumental theme tunes. You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
One more time. That's a song you can groove to.
Backwards.
Okay.
It is, yeah. You just walk. It's the moonwalk. We're gonna go straight to the answer for this one. Have you guys both got an answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, what did you think it was?
I think I'm definitely wrong, but I put Frasier.
And Ronnie?
30 Rock.
The answer is 30 Rock. It's good.
Well done.
I thought this was supposed to be your round, Chris.
Ronnie kicked his ass. So that was question 1. And as this is the only round, we're going to do question and answer as it goes for the reason I mentioned at the beginning. What show is this theme from? One of my favourite TV themes of all time. Anyone got guesses, or we want to hear it again?
Can I please hear it one more time?
You absolutely may.
I feel like I should know it.
Yeah, it is one of those. It's instantly familiar to Nadia as well.
I'm a bit stumped.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a TV show I didn't even watch, but that might fit the era. I'm gonna say Mad Men.
Mad Men. That's a very good guess.
I don't even know if Mad Men had a theme.
No, it did, and I can absolutely follow your line of thought, and that is a very, very smart guess. It's not right,
yeah.
but it is a smart
Roni might
guess.
have gone for Mad Men as well.
That's true, but she has to be. Oh well, yeah. I guess I may have just accidentally. Any guesses, Ronnie?
No, I didn't really think about Mad Men, to be honest. I don't know. The Leftovers.
The Leftovers. I'm afraid it was neither of those. It was in fact BoJack Horseman.
Okay.
Which has this is one of my favourite themes of all time. It's so good. Love it. Right, next question then. So, question 3. What show is... It's a great theme. And when you see it with the visuals mixed in, it's just spectacular. It's a great intro. That show has good music, top and bottom. The end credit scene of that song with the I forget the band that do the song, but there's a song at the end of it, like a little jingle, and it's so good. Whenever we're watching BoJack, we just sing it that all day and night.
Yeah.
We can't get it out of our heads usually, so we just walk around the house singing, back in the 90s, I was in a very famous TV show. Anyway, question 3. What show is this theme from? I think that's one of the harder ones I have, so if you're not getting that one, don't worry. I'll give you guys a clue if you're not feeling confident.
I've already written it down, mate.
Yeah, I had a clue. You know what? If Ronnie's already got it down, I was only going to give the clue if both of you were stumped. I don't know if it's fair to do that.
Ronnie doesn't mind the clue. Give me the clue.
I don't care.
No, the clue is an older show, pre-2000.
Okay. Well, Ronnie's confident, so I'll guess first because I'm not confident. So pre-2000.
Couldn't tell by those sick 90s guitar riffs.
Come
on, Chris.
Is it X-Men the animated series?
Oh, that's a good guess. You know what? I'd say you are excellent at finding other stuff it very could be, but isn't.
Okay.
It's not. But that is
again. You're very good at telling me I'm wrong before Ronnie's fucking answered.
But she knows. I know shit. I could tell.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, but if the compliment to me is, it's a really good answer. It easily could have been. You can't then go, it's fine if I give it away because Ronnie knows.
That's true. You got me there. I won't do that again. My apologies. Ronnie?
Buffy.
Absolutely is indeed Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What a great song this was.
It's a good tune.
Just an absolute masterpiece of 90s trashy guitar nonsense. Love it. Next question. What show is this theme? Me too. Always. Next theme. Guesses?
I'm pretty sure I know, but...
Okay. Chris?
I don't. I'm not doing well at this, so I'm gonna...
This was not your round. You know what? I genuinely was worried that you might have an edge in this round, because before we did this, a little insight for the listener, when we first discussing this, it was made clear that we should make sure this is nice and fair. Chris is obviously much more of a TV guy, and Ronnie's more into movies. It doesn't mean, obviously, there isn't crossover, but, just so to play it fair, make sure there are equal number of movie and TV questions. So with this round, I was like, shit, maybe, is this too easy for Chris? Because he's kind of like, he's quite into music, too.
Is that why you deliberately picked shows you know I haven't watched?
Wait a second. BoJack you've watched. We reviewed it on this very podcast.
Yeah, I've done for 5 years.
True. And what was the first one? I've forgotten. 30
Rock I've watched, yeah.
Have you never watched Buffy, Chris?
No,
he hasn't.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know.
I'm gonna...
Come on, man.
I'll say Law and Order, California.
Is that one of the Law and Orders?
Or CSI. I'm gonna say CSI Slough.
See, now you yelled at me in the last round for telling me you wrong in case Ronnie was going to have the guess. So I'm not going to tell you. That could be right. Yeah, Ronnie.
If there were a CSI Slough, I'd watch it.
Me too.
But I think
CSI Skegness.
I think it might be House.
Ronnie's got it again.
And one I should have got.
So it's a great theme. This is a Teardrop, a Massive Attack. Wonderful, wonderful piece of music. Really perfectly suited for the show. The intro's done really well. Love it.
I'm learning something about myself today. I'm very into music backwards.
It turns out, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting when I named the round and you both went, I was like, this is gonna be a low scoring round. Apparently, what I didn't realise was
I'm gonna start listening to music backwards.
Yeah, you weren't expecting Ronnie to ask for the files for a late night jam set.
She can have them. Right, this one is a good one, and another great. Most of these are really good themes, so I probably need to stop saying that. But let's have a go. Let's have a listen. This one's another one that sounds quite similar both ways. We both have an answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's right, but...
Chris?
I'm going to go Firefly.
Roni?
I think, because I've literally just started watching this show for the first time, I think it's The West Wing.
It is The West Wing.
Yes!
Ronnie. See, I actually added that one for Chris because I know he's watched like 3 seasons of this show.
No, I think we established the other week. I've only watched 2. Although annoyingly, The West Wing and Seinfeld were top of my watch during lockdown list. But I've been working, so I've not had a chance. But yeah,
that's a shame. It's another great show with a great theme.
Yeah.
Next question 6. What show is this theme from? Another song you can jam to, I think. Put that on at the disco.
That's quite funky, that one.
I like that. Go on. Do we have guesses or do you want to hear it again?
I have a guess, but I don't think it's right.
Would you like to go first, Ronnie?
I put EastEnders.
Yeah, EastEnders was my guess.
Both put EastEnders, and it was indeed
EastEnders.
Hey.
What a great theme. That's another... I'm not kidding, right? All these themes are perfect. And for those in America who don't know, this is a theme to a very popular soap here in England. Classic.
I think it's the bizarre thing about that theme in the UK is whether you watch EastEnders or not, it is a theme that inspires nostalgia.
Yeah, you already know
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. It was that theme was in your house and in your life when you were younger, whether you wanted it to be or not.
Yeah. When you're born in the UK, they play the EastEnders theme song to you as the first thing you hear.
Yeah, and then so you're like, what? And then they put a label on your dick.
And they put the label on your dick while this song is playing. Right.
Hey, look, not everyone has a dick.
So you started that.
They don't just label dicks; they label vaginas too.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Didn't mean to be
Fucking
sexist.
hell. Am I still the only female guest you've had on this podcast?
Yes, so, yeah. But because we've only had like 2 other guests that were male, we've had you on as many times, if not more times, than the other guys put together. So if you're looking at our actual list of guest episodes, we've had as many, if not more, female ones than male.
Yeah, I think that's
because
probably
we've had you on so many times.
Yeah. Well, quite right, because I am fucking great, but I mean, come on, guys.
We invite you back for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next theme. So, do we have guesses, or do you want to hear it again?
Yeah, I've got it.
I don't. Again, another show I don't watch, but just from the tone of the theme, I'm going to guess the X-Files.
That's actually a really good guess.
It is. Ronnie?
Rick and Morty.
It is.
It is Rick and Morty.
In fact, Rick and Morty.
As a joke answer, I was going to put down the 6 o'clock news, but...
It's a good theme. We'd like to get to question 8. We'll just power through.
Yeah,
I'm loving this round, by the way. This has been my favourite of the two. This is a good one. Yeah. Let's see about this one. How are we doing? Guesses?
Yeah, I've got it. I think.
Chris?
Well, to my mind, American Horror Story came to mind, but obviously, presumably, that's got a different theme each season, so I think I'm wrong.
I don't know if it does. I think it has like the same.
They use the same piece of music.
But yeah.
Well, American Horror Story.
American Horror Story. Ronnie?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Absolutely
fuck it out.
Which, a more appropriate song to play over Chris, shaking his head and looking annoyed. But like, I really don't know how you did it. Can I play the backwards one again? I was so Nadia doesn't watch the show, and she got that instantly. She went, "No, David, like, how did you like? Can I? I've got to play it back. Listen to this, Chris. Seriously, now. Like, wait, where is it?
Yeah, maybe, but like, you know how like some people just can't spell words backwards. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I just like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just can't compute it in that way. I tell you what, my bigger, because I must have had some logic, but I literally, like, it was like I woke myself up in the middle of the night the other night going, why didn't you pick Curb Your Enthusiasm for best comedy? Like, for the statics. Like, I was like, and it would have been I would have been able to fight that against What We Do in the Shadows so much better as well. And I was
you gotta listen to your dreams, man.
Curb was my second choice.
Yeah. I was like, what was my logic? Anyway.
So, next one. We got 2 left. This is question 9. Oh, no, just giving the answer away. So
can you play it anyway? Because I want to hear what it is backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the, as I accidentally gave away by going too far on the slides, the theme tune to Game of Thrones.
Do you know,
so
I'm
even
not
that,
sure.
I think I'd have struggled with.
I'm not sure I would have gotten that until the end.
Yeah, I really debated chopping the end off because that's when Nadia guessed it too, but I thought it's already too hard.
You could kind of hear the, because I suppose, in a way, the thing to listen out for the most is the bass. Do you know what I mean? And like, you could kind of hear the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da in the bass, but you had to. Like, I don't know if that's because we knew it. But yeah, for listeners that didn't hear Dan say over it, it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. But okay. Well, that's the 0 points. So we're down to 55 points available for the game. And take a drink every time I make that fuck up during this podcast, because that might happen again. So next one. That can I just say, I would legitimately listen to that song backwards, just for fun. I think that sounds great. Any guesses?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
Well, because if I'm right, you're like, fucking go on, get this wrong, dickhead.
I was trying to be nice because I thought it might mean something to you.
To get it, fuck off with your pity.
No! Not to get it! The actual theme, you dumb shit!
I believe I'm fairly confident in saying it's the US office.
Yes, that's what I have as well.
Excellent. Let's find out.
I'm very glad I didn't get that wrong.
Yeah, like the whole way we were doing this, and you only got an EastEnders, I thought, fuck. Like, if he doesn't get The Office, this is going to be an absolute shambles. So, that's The Office. Looking at the totals, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, you got 2 right that round?
No, did I gave up keeping track. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, The Office and EastEnders.
And Ronnie, I believe you got 8 of 9.
Yes.
That is impressive.
That's very impressive.
At the end of,
well done, Ronnie.
I mean, I think we've got that's a round of applause, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys,
that's great work.
Don't. Really.
Very good. Very good. So, in terms of scores, I mean, I don't want to say that anyone's running away with anything, but Chris is on 7 and Ronnie is in the lead with 14.
On the one hand, I'm losing. On the other hand, I predicted that. So,
yeah.
In many ways, Dan, I was most right of all.
You were. It's true. And isn't that the lesson we all need to learn? And isn't that just so true of life? So, round 3 is name that movie from its bad review. I've got an example. This is a genuine review. There's 2 kinds in this, by the way. The first 5 are from legitimate reviewers, like people who write for a living. The final 5 are 1-star reviews of these films from Amazon.
Ooh.
We'll see if you can spot a difference between them in terms of the quality of the writing.
I was going to say in terms of politics, but...
No, just in terms of how fucking dumb they are. So I've got an example of each kind here. And these are ones I took out because I just thought they were too vague to even be guessed correctly. But this is a genuine review from Anthony Lane of The New Yorker, and it was blank marks a distinct improvement on the last 2, but only in the same way that dying from natural causes is preferable to crucifixion.
Ouch.
Yeah,
that was a review of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
This one's great. Am I the only one that is creeped out by these guys in tights? They purposefully didn't cover their private areas. Disgusting Hollywood creeper vibe. That was a 1-star review on Amazon of the film Elf.
Wow.
Amazing.
These are great. I love these so much. So the premise is pretty straightforward. I will give you a review and you will try and guess which film it is from. So we'll start question 1, because that's how numbers work. Ireland should prosecute Kenneth Branagh for war crimes. And when you've both got an answer, let me know and we will move on. We're not going to be doing like we did in the last round where we do the answer straight away. We're going to do all the questions and all the answers.
Oh, shit.
Tell you what, giant glass for beer is a good idea. Keeps that beer staying colder for longer than it normally would. Not going to lie.
Fair play.
I guess, I don't know how that works.
I wish you'd been drinking that last year.
Yeah.
You might have.
Might not have ended the way it ended. Who fed who vodka? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. I blame us both.
You're a bad
Don't worry.
influence.
I'm going to go on ahead and say you're both idiots.
Yeah. I blame us both.
Yeah, I think that was clear. If anything, I wanted to keep all the sounds in so people could learn from my mistakes. What better PSA for not drinking than the original unedited audio, which is we realised is absolutely lost at this point, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
Right, question 2. If you guys have both got guesses?
Yeah.
Question 2. I left immediately amid shouts and applause from the people who cheered, and perhaps it is the best that the children enjoy their party because adults prefer another cinema. Now, the another cinema line is a iffy translation of I believe it's a Spanish phrase. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the writer of this article was, I think, either French or Spanish, and it was translated. So when they say prefer another cinema, I think they mean a different kind of cinema. Other than that, it's translated pretty accurately from what I can tell. I left immediately amid shouts and applause from the people who cheered, and perhaps it is for the best that the children enjoy their party because adults prefer a different kind of cinema. And let me know when you guys are ready to mosey on. Yeah? Oh, no. Still thinking?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me write something down quick.
It's all right.
Okay.
There we go. Next one. Question 3. For the most part, blank is both a horror and an endurance test. A dispatch from some neon-drenched netherworld where the ghastly is inextricable from the tedious. Now that's quite well written, and again, the standards of these reviews will drop as we go through these questions. Once we get to 6,
I'm looking forward to these Amazon ones.
They are genuinely staggering. Their simplicity is what makes them beautiful. We both ready to move on?
Yeah.
Ronnie?
Yeah. Sorry.
Great. That's okay. Just double checking. So question 4. I've had mosquito bites that were more passionate than this undead, unrequited, and altogether unfun pseudo-romantic riff on Romeo and Juliet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Would you...
I don't like.
Can't really ask a question, can I?
I'm torn between 2 different movies.
Yeah.
But
there are a couple this fits for sure. I did think that when I was writing it. It's one of those...
How much is it riffing on Romeo and Juliet would be my question.
That would be an answer I wouldn't want to give. Because would that not give the game away quite a lot?
Probably.
Potentially.
Right, I don't think I'm going to do well in this round.
No.
I'll be honest with you though, there's a chance that neither will Chris because let's be honest.
Because history.
At the previous round. Because history. No, but also I do think this is a challenging round. This is truly a game of guesswork. Because there's not enough information in there to guarantee you've got the right answer, I don't think.
Yeah.
This is really a bit about sort of educated guessing. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Question 5. Judging by the movie's enduring popularity, the message that stupidity is redemption is clearly what a lot of Americans want to hear. So I'll repeat that. One more time. This is a very scathing review. Judging by the movie's enduring popularity, so keep that in mind. I think that's a big clue because that really does suggest the age of the movie. The message that stupidity is redemption is clearly what a lot of Americans want to hear. I'm very much enjoying these questions because it's easy for me though. I get to be smug because I know all the answers. I'm the idiot that had to dig out all these reviews. It fucking took me hours, literally hours, sifting through reviews to find quotes that were like. We both got guesses?
Yeah, I've written a guess.
But again, not confident.
Yeah. No, to be honest with you, I'd be surprised if any of you were like massively confident on any of these, because again, of the nature of this quiz. So we're moving on now to the Amazon ones. Question 6 is, there isn't even any butt stuff.
So now I think an earlier answer I gave was wrong, because I think it's this.
It's genuinely
as written in Empire magazine.
Yeah. Now I haven't. I've got the names of the reviewers later for the other reviews and who they work for or who they wrote the articles for, but I have not taken down the names of the morons responsible for these Amazon ones. It's not right. That's kicking a horse while I was down in it, really. They've embarrassed themselves enough. Question
I don't think
7,
they view it that way.
No, they definitely don't. Question 7?
Yeah.
There were no wolves in this movie.
Oh, what was that? Well, I'm going to give it away because Ronnie's going to know if I'm right, because Ronnie's going to know the film I'm thinking of, but there's a film where famously the trailer made it look like...
I was thinking of the same film.
Yeah, but I can't remember
do you want me to give you the name of that film? I can tell you what film you're referring to without confirming it's the answer to this question.
Yeah.
That film was called The Grey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
And many people joked that the movie, they basically almost titled it through the trailer, Wolf Fight, in which a wolf and Liam Neeson do not fight.
Okay. I've got a guess.
Oh.
Ronnie, are you happy to move on?
Yeah, why not?
I like your confidence. It's hard to believe that a hotel this size in Colorado would choose to close in the winter with all the skiing business. Actually, I should have named this person. This person's a genius. Do you want me to repeat that one? It's hard to believe that a hotel that size in Colorado would close in the winter with all the skiing business. Question 8, what you got both answers for?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
But it's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know enough to know I'm right.
as is expected. So, next question. Question 9. Penguins shouldn't talk. Again, the intellectual level of these reviews really does, you feel it.
The question is how obvious the answers are going to be. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a few where I'm like, I've gone for the most obvious answer. That may be wrong.
Smartest guess, though. Your money. I would if I was in your shoes, I'd be just going for the most obvious guess because you can't go because the more obscure you go, the more options you theoretically have, and then you've got to sort of start picking and choosing, haven't you?
Yeah.
So we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Question 10. Whoever wrote this movie had no idea/clue about farming. It's spectacular. That's the thing they would pick up on in any film, really, unless the film was called How to Farm. I don't really think that review...
How did you find them? Did you pick movies?
A bit of both. So some of them came from... I actually found articles where people were like, haha, look at these dumb... but people listed dumb reviews or savage reviews or whatever, and then I went through and found a bunch myself looking at specific movies. Like that very first one I got by finding a film on Letterboxd and looking at the top reviewer and then linking to the place he'd said it. So yeah, they come from different places. I found they came to me in different ways. Some of the more funny ones I feel like I probably got from BuzzFeed articles that were 10 amazingly stupid Amazon reviews. It was a combination of sources.
I took a quiz this morning to find out what Disney princesses were in my DNA.
What Disney princesses are in
Which Disney princesses are you infected with?
I had Cinderella.
Oh God, that's a really bad one. I'm pretty sure Cinderella's sexually transmitted, so you're probably going to get someone to check that out.
Pocahontas, Mulan, and maybe Tiana? I don't know.
All the Disney princesses?
There were like 4. I don't know.
I'm pretty excited, because officially today the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton become Disney princesses.
Oh, yeah.
Officially.
Chris, quick, change the subject.
Yeah, take a drink. Dan mentioned Hamilton.
Right, for those who don't know, because we haven't mentioned it since we've been recording, today it's Hamilton Day. It's 3rd of July. It's on Disney Plus. I'm doing this rather than watching it, so I've put on my Hamilton shirt as a nod, and I'm going to wear it as I watch the show and drink a beer later, just like I'm there.
And he's going to cry.
Let's try and encourage Dan to get so drunk that he can't really take in Hamilton.
Can't remember or enjoy Hamilton. Yeah. No,
although let's be honest, it's going to be like he's drunk because he'll be so emotional anyway.
He's going
to cry. Amazing.
He's going to cry and simultaneously have a boner.
Exactly. It's so good. Are you drunk, Dan? No,
cry boner.
I'm just happy.
I'm undoing my belt before I sit down because
so
I will.
Good.
Like Hamilton needs to have a warning on it for me that just says if you still have an erection after 4 hours, see a doctor.
Wow.
Dan doesn't need Viagra in his old age. He'll just fire up Disney Plus.
I don't need that in my head while I'm watching Hamilton. Just the image of you watching Hamilton and balancing your giant...
You were the one that made the erection joke first.
Roni said that.
I made the erection joke first.
I don't want to think about you balancing a big bottle of Corona on a fucking erection whilst watching Hamilton.
Well, it's either that or it's going to be the nachos. Like, I've got to figure it out, really. Things are going to be balanced some way. Anyway, let's get to some answers. I'm sure you're excited to find out how badly Chris is doing.
I don't think I've got any of these right.
No.
Well, I think that you might surprise yourself with this round, but at the same time, you can't feel bad because there's physically not enough information in these to get them. I don't think. Question 1 was Ireland should prosecute Kenneth Branagh for war crimes. That was from Patrick H. Willems, a YouTube reviewer who wrote a review or put a review up on Letterboxd as well, which is where I found it. I think it's just such a succinct way to shit on this particular movie. Roni, guesses?
Is it Artemis Fowl?
Chris?
I didn't know whether Agatha Christie or something was Irish, so I went for Murder on the Orient Express.
At least it's a Kenneth Branagh film. You'd have been in a lot more shit if it wasn't. Roni has it. It is actually Artemis Fowl.
Yeah. The only thing that gave me pause for thought is because it's so recent.
Yeah. Because I was doing the research yesterday. It was one of the first ones that popped up.
I genuinely believe that Artemis Fowl being this shit is not Kenneth Branagh's fault.
Oh, definitely not.
It doesn't. I've not seen it, but it does
not look good. Because I remember it got pushed back, it got delayed. So I think it's been hacked to death by Disney.
And not only that, but I mean, the decisions were made before Branagh got on board to make the most egregious shifts in it, which is not using the plot of the first book or the premise of Artemis Fowl. It's a book about, and I've read it recently because I was like, this sounds awful, but everyone's talking about this book and it sounds interesting to me, so I actually went and read the first book, and it's about he's a thief, he's a criminal mastermind. And he's trying to basically con money out of the fairies.
Yeah,
it's a big scheme to get a bunch of money out of the fairy people, because he thinks they've all got essentially access to gold because he's a criminal mastermind. And he meets this fairy, and they're like, there's a rivalry because they hate each other because he's sort of essentially kidnapped her. In the trailer, he meets the same character, Holly Bloom, and she's like, I'm a friend from the other side.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what is this? How could you get it so wrong? That would be like doing the Harry Potter films and making Snape and Harry best buddies. It's that out of whack with the book. I understand changing some stuff to make it structurally fit a film, but I don't know how you can even get away with calling this Artemis Fowl. It's
just a mess. And then I think when Disney realised they'd made a mess, they were just like, dump it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, almost certainly. Before the early reviews started coming through that it was not good, I was torn. It was either that, or they were testing the water to see if this coronavirus thing might go forward. How viable is dumping stuff on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
But having seen the response to the film, I'm now pretty confident.
The reason why I thought, this is a hot mess, when they announced that it was going on Disney Plus, is because they'd already pushed it back once for a bunch of reshoots, and I don't normally,
which is never a great sign.
Yeah, I don't normally subscribe that every time reshoots happen, it's a bad thing. But they changed their release date by 6 months.
Not a good sign. So there you go. So that one was Artemis Fowl. Point goes to Ronnie. The second one was I left immediately amid shouts and applause from the people who cheered, and perhaps it's the best that the children enjoy their party because the adults prefer another cinema. That was Vincent Gutierrez on El Economista, so it's Spanish. Any guesses,
Chris?
Ronnie? No.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, whichever.
That doesn't really. Whoever.
You go, Ronnie.
Okay,
I'll steal your answer.
I didn't know, so I put Peppa Pig.
Nice. I wondered whether party was literal, so I put sausage party, and maybe it was a highbrow critic that felt that anyone enjoyed that movie was a child.
So I'll tell you that neither of you are right, but you will be surprised to discover the answer. This one I kind of knew was probably not really gettable because what's amazing about this review is that they're talking about this film. Avengers Endgame.
I know, you know what? Because I pictured people cheering at Cap getting the hammer, and I nearly put Avengers Endgame.
It made me think about Marvel movies in general.
Yeah.
But also, how the fuck dare he?
Yeah, right? I know, right? I'm on your side here, very much. It's, shocking.
Get
shocking.
out of here, Vincente.
Yeah, that would have been. I'd tell you, I'd have been impressed if you'd have guessed that. I felt like that one was a bit of a difficult one.
But it was also because it was also so close to the Martin Scorsese quote, but not the Martin Scorsese quote. That I was like, it's probably not that.
Also,
which is my logic. Which was my logic with using it. Because I thought, you know what, you can't tell me this is impossible to guess.
No, I nearly
there is enough of a hint. So yeah.
How can you leave that movie though? I saw it 3 times in cinemas. It's bloody 3 hours long. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's one where I looked up the film, and let me tell you, the 1-star reviews for that film are like those people hated that movie.
Yeah,
a lot.
Went in hating it probably.
One person described it as children smashing action figures together for 3 hours.
But I don't know why. What annoys me about that is why bother? Don't go because it's the 21st or whatever it was movie. 20-second movie in a cinematic universe.
And if you don't like that kind of thing, why would you choose to watch a 3-hour movie?
Yeah.
Like, what blew my mind is, when I was the reason I chose that one in the end is that a lot of them were really scathing and things like, it's 3 hours of smashing toast. But then I clicked on the review, and it was somebody who was like, I've seen maybe 2 of these, and this one's ridiculous. It's like, then of course it is. You're watching the final part of a 20-part series, and of course it's lost on you.
I saw a review for a product on Amazon. It was a baking tray, and the review was 1 star, and I was like, there's a problem with the baking tray. And the review said, it got delivered to number 10 because I wasn't in, and then they didn't bring it round for days.
Wow.
I was like, I'm not entirely sure that's the baking tray.
Every product has at least 1 or 2 of those, like, it came late reviews, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the next one, question 3, so we're getting for the third answer, was for the most part, blank is both a horror and an endurance test. A dispatch from some neon-drenched netherworld where the ghastly is inextricable from the tedious. Any guesses? Ronnie.
Because of the neon-drenched, I put Batman and Robin.
Good guess.
But yeah,
because of the negativity and I haven't seen the film, but I remember from the trailers there were a lot of neon colours. I put the remake of Ghost in the Shell.
I was also thinking about Neon Demon, but
interesting. Would you like to know the answer?
Or Only God Forgives. Yeah.
It was Cats.
Cats, my favourite movie of 2019.
I see that. I assume sarcasm, but maybe not.
Of course, it's sarcasm.
Thanks.
I still need to see it. I can't wait.
Oh, do yourself a favour and don't watch it.
Don't. Yeah. I've had mosquito bites that were more passionate than this undead, unrequited, and altogether unfun pseudo-romantic riff on Romeo and Juliet. Guesses? Chris, I think we did Ronnie last time.
Yeah, well, I think I'm wrong because I think it's an answer later, and I think it's actually not really a riff on Romeo and Juliet. But the first part of the quote, I think, aptly describes 50 Shades of Grey, so that was my guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not too bad. I put Twilight.
And the answer was?
Yeah, well done.
Point to Ronnie, very
well done.
I thought
the undead bit was the biggest clue.
I thought actually it was between Twilight and Warm Bodies.
Oh yeah, you know what? Let me look at that again. I think I've had mosquito bites that are more passionate. This undead, unrequited, and altogether unfun pseudo-romantic. You know what? Warm bodies is a really smart guess.
Yeah, warm bodies came into my mind, but I was like, who would not enjoy warm bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is it. Is that warm bodies is actually?
Well, I don't know, Chris. Who wouldn't enjoy Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, that's also a good point. But that one was from Mark Salov of the Austin Chronicle. So we'll go to question 5, which was, judging by the movie's enduring popularity, the message that stupidity is redemption is clearly what a lot of Americans want to hear. And that was from Jonathan Rosenbaum of the Chicago Reader. Any guesses? Roni, I think we did Chris first last time.
I guessed... I didn't really have any answers for this one, so I just guessed Transformers.
Yeah,
Chris?
I couldn't think of anything where the lead character is sort of stupid and redeemed for it. But enduring popularity, stupidity, I guessed for those reasons, Forrest Gump.
Before you reveal the answer, is it going to make me mad?
In what sense?
Am I going to disagree with Jonathan Rosenbaum?
I think I don't. Not in the same way you disagreed with the Avengers Endgame one. No.
Okay.
I think there is a point being made there that is I don't personally agree with, but I think is coming from a valid place.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I'm ready now.
It was Forrest Gump.
Hey.
Because I think there is an element of truth to the idea that in this movie, a very stupid man fails upwards.
Okay.
So what I think he's getting at in that review is that maybe that's what Americans want to hear about, is that dumb people can succeed.
But I don't think he's not necessarily stupid. He's got issues. He's got
fair point.
Mental health issues.
The reason I was unsure, I want to celebrate actually getting an answer right. But the reason I was all right, not sarcastically. The reason
I wasn't sarcastic. I was trying to be nice.
It's a slow clap, man.
Hey, what do you want?
The reason.
What do you want from me?
I'd like a sped up clap. Thank you very much. Could I? The reason. Sorry, Jess is looking at me. You all right? The reason I was unsure whether I was right or not was because I don't think he gets redeemed for anything. Like, what's the redemption in which?
I think the assumption is. I mean, I guess it's an interpretation of words, I suppose, because he's basically saying. His message that stupidity is redemption. Yeah, it's interesting actually. That's a good point, because I was sort of thinking he was sort of saying stupidity kind of paid off in this case. But you're right. Redemption suggests like character arc where he's made mistakes, but he's redeemed by the fact that it doesn't matter that he's made mistakes because he was dumb. Like, I guess that's kind of what he's saying. So maybe he's misread the film.
I'm actually quite irritated with that review because I don't love Forrest Gump. I think it's okay. But I'm irritated that they call it stupidity when it's quite clearly something...
Yes, although it's worth noting that review is a from the time review, is my understanding.
Right, okay.
And I guess maybe less mental health awareness in the 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe. That film's got problems, though. Because that film has a scene where if you reversed the genders, it would be horrendous. There'd be outcries about that film if the genders were reversed. So I found that really interesting. Anyway, number 6. There isn't even any butt stuff.
I think Chris knows the answer to this. And
I think it's 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I think I'm kicking myself because I couldn't. 50 Shades of Grey just didn't cross my mind, but it must be, right?
What did you put?
I put Sex Tape.
Oh, Sex Tape's a good guess, but it was indeed 50 Shades of Grey.
And I think review of that film.
Well, see, now I haven't seen it and I've not read the book and I know pretty much nothing about it. So I gave Nadia that question and she got it instantly.
Yeah.
And I sort of questioned it. And apparently there's butt stuff in the book.
Yeah.
So that person was upset there's no butt stuff in the film.
I remember, like, in the first one, when they're looking at the contracts and everything, she's like, what's a butt plug?
Mm.
And
does that? I suppose it depends on your definition.
But all
of butt
throughout,
stuff
all
and,
throughout
like,
the films, she's like, in the second one, she's like, I'm not putting that up my butt in reference to some beads or whatever. So there is.
This is a review. This is a review of the first one specifically. Is my understanding.
But I'm just curious because if there's like, quote unquote, butt stuff in the books. Yeah, you'd think there would be in the film.
It sounds like this person just wanted to watch some porn and was disappointed.
Yeah.
This person should have gone to Pornhub and typed in butt stuff.
That for me,
they'd have had a better time.
The biggest crime of that movie is that I don't think it's not even sexy. Like,
no,
I don't think it's in any way erotic.
Right.
And the second film...
I can't comment on it.
The second film is a raging dumpster fire.
Yeah, I've not seen
truly horrendous.
But one I saw in the cinema.
My understanding is the third one is as well. Is that
it's
true?
Not as bad.
Really?
But it is still pretty bad. What I loved about the third one is that at the end they had like a montage of the previous movies. Like, oh, remember when they met? And remember when like he tied her to the bed? And
the song Raindrops so falling on my head. That's great. I love it. Number 7. There were no wolves in this movie. Ronnie, would you like to take a guess?
I just put An American Werewolf in London because I went completely blank.
I also went very literally and put Dances with Wolves.
The answer: The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh.
That reviewer was disappointed there were no wolves in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Maybe we should remake The Wolf of Wall Street, but Leonardo DiCaprio's character is played by a wolf.
Yeah. Maybe it will be better.
A bit more literal.
Yeah. I mean, the movie just needs an edit. I don't think it needs a wolf, but yeah. It's a little too long, but it's a Scorsese movie for you. It's hard to believe that a hotel that size in Colorado would close in the winter with all the skiing business. Guesses, Chris?
My guess is The Shining.
Yeah, Ronnie?
Yeah, that's a good guess, because I tried to think of horror movies and once again went blank, and so I just went Chalet Girl, even though there's loads of skiing in it.
The answer was The Shining.
People, to be fair, that's not the first time that anyone's got The Shining and Chalet Girl confused. People are always...
It's a perfect double feature.
Yeah.
I actually need at some point. There was the Weekly Planet was a podcast I listened to, and in their old days, they used to get their listeners to find incongruous like double packs. You know, where two just completely disparate films just get spliced together.
Yeah.
I need to put a call out to our listeners if they, because they did that years ago. And I bet it's just as bad, if not weirder now, with more modern films. So I would love if anyone finds any weird DVD double packs on like the store, the store shelves. Just let us know what you found. I bet you there are so many weird ones out there now.
If anyone finds a 2-pack of The Shining and Chalet Girl, just find me on Twitter. Let me know.
I'd love to know about that. Yeah, for sure. So, question 9 was penguins shouldn't talk. I forget who went first last time. Chris this time?
Again, I took it very literally and went for Happy Feet.
I said Madagascar.
That's
both good guesses. It was Happy Feet.
Oh,
exciting!
Chris pulling it back.
I think Chris is doing well in this round.
I'd be very surprised if I'm right on the last one.
Yeah, this one I don't necessarily. This is another really difficult one. I don't think there's enough information here. This has just got to be a shot in the dark. But whoever wrote this movie has no idea / clue about farming. Ronnie,
I put Babe.
I put Chicken Run.
It was Interstellar.
What? Oh, that Christopher Nolan. He
doesn't know anything about farming, does he?
About farming.
Made a great, really interesting movie about space travel, but he doesn't know shit about farming. Fucking put it in the bin.
Interstellar and Chicken Run is quite the double feature. That's the next film day, Ronnie. Interstellar, Babe, and Chicken Run.
So by my calculations, at the end of that round, Chris, you got 4, Ronnie, you got 2, so that puts the current scores at Ronnie.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I just had a thought. Do you think that whoever wrote this review got Interstellar mixed up with The Martian?
Yeah, yeah, that would make way more sense. That would make way more sense. You're right.
Yeah, but yeah, which film is better? I think The Martian is better.
I think The Martian is better.
Than The Martian as well. Yeah. Anyway, scores-wise, if I'm right that Chris got 4 and you got 2, Ronnie, then that puts Ronnie in the lead with 16, while Chris is trailing not by anywhere near as much now. He's pulling it back 11.
Ooh,
5 points in it.
Round of applause right next to the mic.
Thank you. Forrest Gump
I had to clap absurdly fast, so it actually hurts my arms, because otherwise Chris thinks it's sarcastic.
I appreciate that.
There are 25 points left in this quiz, so there are plenty of points still to win. So this is anyone's game at this point. Let's see what happens. So round 4. Name the TV show from an obtuse description. Now, this started because I found a bunch of weird Netflix descriptions for stuff where they were just... It was so weird the way they were describing it. But the problem was they were all weird, but specific enough that it was actually very easy when I tried it with Nadia. So I have instead created Netflix vague descriptions that are a little bit vaguer than the actual Netflix ones to make this a bit more challenging.
Okay.
One of them, though, is still the real Netflix one. So there is a bonus point. At the end of this round, I'm going to ask you which one you think is the real Netflix description.
But these aren't all Netflix shows, are they?
No, not necessarily. Right. No, once I was doing my own, I just wrote them about whatever show came to mind. So these are all any show now. It started that way and it had to evolve because it was just too easy. They are funny, and Google them if you're listening, or you guys at home when you're done, because it's really funny. Some of the Netflix descriptions are absolutely hilarious. But they just give away too much, and it's really easy to identify the show, which kind of spoils the round. So
he's a ghost.
We'll start. He's a ghost. It's a review. Unable to stop himself... Oh, this is the example of one of these. Unable to stop himself going bald, a man decides to change career path. Any guesses for my example?
Well, I mean, it feels fucking harsh, but Breaking Bad?
It's Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Netflix, he's not just going bald, he has bloody cancer, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, what a dick.
Well, that's me. I wrote that. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I repeat, what a dick.
So that's the example. That gives you the idea of the sort of thing we're looking for. So, question 1 is, everyone bickers over the most uncomfortable seat imaginable. Now when you both got an answer, we'll move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Elderly traveller constantly picks up young women who tag along willingly.
Ooh. Oh.
This round took me the longest to put together because I had to write them myself.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, I think
Chris?
I got it.
Question 3. Rich dude gains a taste for wearing leather after coming back from the dead. I think that's a tricky one.
Gains a taste.
I think that might be one of the more difficult ones. Yes, it is hum-worthy. I think Chris didn't join in on our group then.
Right.
You just want to be different.
I was genuinely humming. A silent hum.
I'll just guess.
Yeah, I've guessed.
Well, so we'll move on to question 4.
Yeah.
Man leads a group of people to rebel against a new diet trend.
Oh, I really feel like I should know this.
It's a good one. Next question, or are we still thinking?
Yeah, keep going.
I got a guess.
Got a guess. Moving on. Question 5. A warrior takes on his greatest challenge of all, a babysitting job.
I can only think of movies.
Yeah, same here.
This is a TV round, so these are all TV shows. I must admit, when I said it then, I started thinking, oh, what else does this apply to? Yeah, movies came to my mind too. Movies like The Pacifier, or The Tooth Fairy, I suppose. There's a lot of those, isn't there? There's one this year that came out with Batista.
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
The only TV show I can think of is The Manny, which is obviously a fake TV show within This Is Us.
It's not a fake TV show, no. What were you saying? Sorry, what was that name of that one with Batista and the little girl?
My Spy.
My Spy, thank you. Yes, that's like a whole genre, isn't it? Like big muscly guy with small child. Who knew?
Okay, I've got a guess.
And I can't think of a single good one.
Yeah. I don't know.
In the movies, anyway. Question 6. Quirky psychiatrist with a passion for cooking helps an FBI agent find himself.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've ruined the forever now, because now we can't do it without laughing. It's these are very obtuse. So as I said at the beginning of the quiz, it is a quiz of guesswork. So not to worry if you don't know.
Okay.
I'd say round 5 is the least guessworky one. That one's either you know it or you don't, I think.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too,
Chris?
I think, yeah.
Question 7. Rich, unreasonably attractive private school students do horrible things to each other repeatedly.
I feel like there's a bunch that could be.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, pretty much the CW.
Yeah, I was going to say, just stick on
exactly.
the CW and...
It doesn't quite cover their superhero shows, but everything else.
Okay.
Yeah? Got guesses?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm right, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm right.
Question 8. A young boy connects with his grandpa. Together they learn what it means to be human.
Just complete... Like, my mind has just gone completely blank.
Yeah.
It's worth noting these are sort of intentionally misleading. So boil it down a bit and see if you think it fits something else, even if it's phrased in a certain way. I don't know if that's too much of a clue or not.
No, I got nothing.
I got a guess, but
yeah, Roni.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got a guess?
Yeah.
Question 9. A DJ from Florida turns to Buddhism.
I can only think of one show about DJs.
A DJ from Florida turns to Buddhism.
I think this one's the closest I've come to sort of cheating, because it's direct, but it's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I feel like I know what you're getting at, but
we'll see.
yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
Moving on. There we go. An unexpected holiday forces a group of strangers to band together and consider their past.
Okay.
That's question 10. Yeah?
Yeah.
No, not yet, but...
It's okay, me and Ronnie can have a chat in the meantime. How's it been, Ronnie?
No,
Not too bad.
Go on, you can... Yeah, no, go on.
I don't know if you've heard, I've watched over 500 movies this year, so...
I have heard that. I heard that on a podcast, I think.
There's some debate whether it's 598 or 509, but you know. Right.
We ready to move on to the answers?
Yeah.
So, answer 1. So, everyone bickers over the most uncomfortable seat imaginable. I would argue this is the easiest. Any guesses?
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
Is that what you both put?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you both got it right. It was Game of Thrones.
I wasn't just repeating Ronnie's answer.
Game of Thrones?
For the record, while you're under oath, Chris. Question 2 was, elderly traveller constantly picks up young women who tag along willingly.
Doctor Who.
Chris.
Doctor Who.
Ronnie? Doctor Who. Yeah, it is indeed Doctor Who. Next one was, rich dude gains a taste for wearing leather after coming back from the dead.
I put Daredevil, but it doesn't really fit at all. I just couldn't think of...
You're very close. Chris?
I think I'm wrong then. I put Angel. I've never seen it, but he seems to wear leather in that poster.
It does fit Angel, but it is Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Because, of course, Oliver Queen comes back from the dead at the start of the show. No, you see, that was very much I don't agree with your choice of answer. Man leads a group of people to rebel against a new diet trend. I think I got this one from a website. I don't think this one was mine.
I'm intrigued, because I think I'm right on this. So what did you put, Ronnie? Because you were unsure.
Because I felt like I should know it, but I don't. So I literally picked a TV show out of thin air and just put Mad Men.
Well, I think it's The Walking Dead.
It is indeed The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one as well. I think that is a good one. That is a good one. So, the next one. A warrior takes on his greatest challenge of all, a babysitting job.
I put The Witcher.
I didn't have anything for this.
The answer was The Mandalorian.
Oh, fuck. That's really
that
annoying.
One I'm proud of.
I've watched The Mandalorian through twice.
Yeah, we're about to. I think we're not far off doing a second viewing. I'm looking forward to rewatching it. Number 6, quirky psychiatrist with a passion for cooking helps an FBI agent find himself. Chris.
Oh, I've never seen it, but I didn't know if this was a deep cut podcast reference, so I'm guessed Psych.
I almost put Psych, but I put I don't know if this is the exact title of it, but I put Sherlock Holmes, the one with Johnny Lee Miller.
That was just called Sherlock, but the answer was Hannibal. He's a psychiatrist with a passion for cooking.
That's very true. I should have known that because I also rewatched that recently.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
It's a great show.
It is a great show.
Yeah. 7. Rich, unreasonably attractive private school students do horrible things to each other repeatedly. Roni, what did you?
I think this is pretty much wrong, but I put Riverdale.
Yeah, I was trying to choose between Riverdale. I think this is definitely wrong, but I think it's a more apt description, so I went with How to Get Away with Murder.
It was Gossip Girl. You were both in the right ballpark. CW shows.
I think back in the day I watched one episode of Gossip Girl and was like, I am bored as fuck. So I was like, I am out.
I'm done.
That's fair. Number 7. A young boy connects with his grandpa and together they learn what it means to be human.
I put... Sorry, you go ahead.
I put Rick and Morty.
I put Rick and Morty as well.
You both got it right. That's exactly correct. Yeah. That's a good one. DJ from Florida turns to Buddhism. This is my closest to cheating.
Yeah, I have no idea. I literally just put Black Mirror.
Yeah, I put Turn Up Charlie because it was the only show I could think of with DJ in.
It was The Good Place.
Go fuck yourself.
Who's the DJ?
It's
Are you kidding me?
What's his face?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
It was originally Takes a Vow of Silence, but Nadia thought that was too easy.
Yeah.
So it turns to Buddhism. Yeah. That one's a bit cheating because it's not the main plot of the show. It's like a side plot of the show, but that one's a bit tricky. But the answer was The Good Place. Number 10. An unexpected holiday forces a group of strangers to band together and consider their past.
I put down Lost.
Yeah, I put down Lost.
And you were both right. It was indeed Lost. Very good. So, at the end of that round, Chris clawing his way back, point by point. Chris got 6, Ronnie got 5.
No, I think I got 4.
And I don't think I got 6.
I got Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Rick and Morty, and Lost.
Whereas I think I got Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, The Walking Dead, Rick and Morty, and Lost. Which is only 5.
I've given you both an extra point at some point by accident. I think I have. Sorry, guys. Don't know how I've managed that.
Huh? Look at how honest Ronnie and I are. But yeah, I think I only got 5.
Aren't we wonderful people?
And looks like Ronnie only got 4, so that's... So it's, 4 and... for some reason, there must be one you both got wrong and I marked a point down. Like, that must be what happened. That's the only way that makes sense to me. So, at the end of round 4 of 6... Ronnie is ahead still on 20, but catching up slowly, but but catching up nonetheless is Chris with 16. There are only 4 points in it.
I've actually found the last 2 rounds quite difficult.
You've been on pretty even scores the last 2 rounds. Chris has only gotten you by a point or 2 in the last 2 rounds. You've both been on pretty even Stevens. The only one that anyone really ran away with was the audio round where you absolutely smacked Chris around. So... shall we move on with the quiz?
Yeah.
This is round 5, ladies and gentlemen. This one is guess the TV or movie from its fictional setting. Now, I've got some examples.
I'm quite excited about this round.
So, Pawnee, Indiana.
What are the scores again?
These are some examples.
Is that Stranger Things?
No, that's...
these are movies.
So these are the examples. These ones can be movies or TV shows. This is the round that's a bit of both. So these are fictional locations. These are my examples. Pawnee, Indiana, Hill Valley, California, Bedrock, and Angel Grove. Now, these are in the examples list because they were just... So 2 of them were too easy for Chris. 3 of them, really.
Well, yeah, I think I know all 4. But can I just say, what scares me about this round is I didn't realise that Pawnee was fictional. So I think that says a lot.
Well,
if it shows up in the list, Chris,
is that Groundhog Day?
No, Pawnee, Indiana is Parks and Rec. Hill Valley, California is, of course, Back to the Future. Bedrock is the Flintstones. And Angel Grove is, Chris, say it loud and proud.
Power Rangers. Go, Power Rangers. I really want to rewatch the recent Power Rangers movie.
Thanks for that insight.
It's a decent movie.
Yeah.
I didn't mind
Roni
it.
and I saw it together.
We did.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's a shame they're rebooting it, but there you go.
Yeah, I'd sequelize.
What do they think they're going to achieve by rebooting?
I know.
It's not going to make any more money.
I know. It's
no,
silly.
There's a very, very specific audience that's tapping into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were wanting the Marvel crowd. They just got Chris and me.
But the thing is, I think a sequel to that one would be better. Would make them more money than a reboot, because I think actually that's picked up quite a lot of attention since, and they would be doing the Green Ranger story, which would bring with it, I think, potentially people. So
yeah.
Agreed.
Anyway.
So the basis of the round is pretty simple. I give you the fictional place. You got to try and work out which show it's from. There are 10 questions like in the other rounds. This one should go a little bit quicker just because it's a pretty straightforward one, and this one has definitive answers, and it's, you either know it or you don't sort of thing. Less guesswork involved. So we'll see. Question 1. The location is Hawkins, Indiana. And these are TV shows or movies. They could be either. Have we both got guesses?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Radiator Springs.
Oh, I recognise that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, definitely know it. Be scared, Roni.
Oh my gosh, Chris is going to beat me in this quiz where there's no prize.
Shit, I've just realised we didn't do on the last round the bonus question. Which of those was real on the last round?
Oh,
I did highlight that. I had it between two. I think either Hannah. Well, I'll let Roni give her answer first. Then. Oh no, that makes it sound like I'm going to cheat. I had it between Hannibal and Rick and Morty. I reckon the real one is Rick and Morty.
I think I'll just say Game of Thrones.
Would you believe it? It was the Gossip Girl one, which means Netflix legitimately wrote as their description for the show: rich, unreasonably attractive private girl students do horrible things to each other repeatedly. That is genuinely what Netflix wrote. Bonkers. Right, let's move back on with the quiz. So that's no points. That was nil point. So we had Hawkins, Indiana, Radiator Springs. Are we ready for the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neptune, California. What blew my mind about this one is Nadia got this one. And she does not watch the show. I'm not like...
Did she not watch the show?
Nadia. No.
If I'm right, I'd have thought she'd have been into the show.
Yeah, I think she'd like it as well. It's just not something we've ever sat down to watch. Like, together. It was something I either watched while careful what I say, because I don't want to I don't want to rule it. I don't know. Rule out shows by saying when I watched it and where.
Yeah.
Ready for question 4?
Mm-hmm.
Rivendell.
This feels like a trick.
Yeah.
Rivendell.
Well, again, I feel like I recognise it.
Not as Nadia misheard it when I gave it to her, Riverdale, which is obviously the name of the show that's from. Just want to make it very clear the answer isn't Riverdale, because that would be... There were quite a few shows where I was like looking at the fictional towns and I was like, no, it's the name of the show.
Are you telling me that Twin Peaks is not on this list?
It is not. That would...
Damn it.
That would be unfortunate.
You know what I was thinking about? So you saying Twin Peaks. I know we're over time. You know what I was thinking of the other day, and it just filled me with such joy. I was remembering that whole thread on the podcast about Dan watching Wayward Pines in the bath. It just really made me smile.
Loving Terrence Howard's performance in the bath. Nothing better.
Is that another one of your cry boner moments?
No. Not when certainly not when the second season came, that's for sure. Anyway, next question. Number 5, Storybrooke, Maine.
I do know this. Yeah, I do know it.
I think I'm feeling quite good so far. With the first 5 at least, yeah.
I think
That's
my
good.
sister watches this show, and then she forced me to watch a couple episodes, and I wanted to kill myself.
Ready for the sixth question?
Mm-hmm.
Agrestic, California. From a really great show. I'll give you a clue. This is from a really great show that takes an absolute dive after its fourth season.
After its fourth?
Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a clue, because that tells you that the show at least ran 5.
Did it run more than 5?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Mm.
But
I have
the end of the fourth season is really, like, just don't bother.
Well, I've got a guess.
Mm-hmm. Ronnie?
I don't really have a guess.
I suppose me telling you season as well tells you that one's definitely a TV show.
Yeah.
So I've narrowed it down.
Move on.
Okay. That was very commanding. Move on. Okay.
Move on, Dan.
Sorry. Didn't mean to say. Number 7 is Crystal Lake, New Jersey.
Bitch, please.
I know. I knew you'd get this one.
I'll be honest. I've been waiting for that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Number 8, Sunnydale, California. I can sense Chris. I can feel Chris basically clawing at his microphone. I know it, but what is it?
Yeah, that's really annoying.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's really annoying.
You ready to move on?
And I've just realised I think I'm wrong on Crystal Lake. Yeah, go on. I'm going to change Crystal Lake. Sunnydale's annoying me because I know it. Yeah, move on. Obviously, that's
move
fine.
On.
But
no problem. Question number 9 is Cape Side, Massachusetts.
Right, I don't know that, so I'll just concentrate on Sunnydale.
Cape Side.
Mm-hmm.
Cape Side. I'm trying to think of like Bostonian TV shows and movies.
I'm trying to think of superhero stuff.
It's a good way to go for it. Cape Side, yes, superhero. That's actually not bad. You know what? It's as good a guess as any, isn't it?
Right, I've got a Sunnydale. I think I know.
Okay, I've put down
and
something
Cape Side,
for
were
Cape
you happy?
Side.
Oh, Cape Side. I don't give a shit. Oh no, wait, hold on. Is Cape Side a film?
I'm not going to answer that, am I?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Question 10, Raccoon City.
Hold on now.
Yes.
No, nothing.
Oh, I think I've realised what you might be able to question me on like that. And I didn't double check. Now I feel stupid.
I feel like I might have it wrong, but...
It's just occurred to me that... No, I think I'm okay. Oh, shit. Oh, no, I'm fine. Okay, phew. Right, I just double check that then. Yeah. So, okay. Are we ready for the answers?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh, did anyone just see that I put the answer on the screen?
No, I didn't see it.
What did we have for the answers?
I saw it, but I had written down the same thing, so...
I didn't see it, but I wrote down
Chris, what did you have?
I wrote down Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, that is exactly right. It is Stranger Things. Take a drink for me fucking up and going ahead again. You both getting the point, don't worry. Any guesses for Radiator Springs? Want to jump in?
You go, Ronnie.
Is it Cars?
Yeah, Cars was my guess, because of radiators and...
Yeah,
radiators and shit.
Yeah, good guess. And accurate. It was Cars. Very good. Very impressive. Neptune, California. Chris.
Veronica Mars.
Ronnie?
Yeah, I have that.
Veronica Mars. Points for both. Very good. Rivendell.
Is it Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I thought it sounded like something from Game of Thrones, and then I was like, well, that came up on the previous thing, so I changed that to Lord of the Rings.
Exactly right. There is a river run in Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings, sorry, Game of Thrones, which is, they're quite similar. Yeah. So you both get a point on that one too. So far, so good. A clean sweep. Storybrooke, Maine.
I think Once Upon a... Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. That's what I put down.
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
That is correct. You both got that one. Once Upon a Time. Chris, if you didn't get that one, I'd have hurt you. You did a series on my YouTube channel analysing that show.
I nearly gave Roni a hint when she said, I think my sister forced me to watch it. I nearly went, I think I forced myself to watch it.
Agrestic, California. Guesses. Roni?
I had no idea, so I put CSI California, which is Chris's favourite show.
Based on the 4th season thing and the fact that I remember the show was sunny, I put Dexter.
That was Florida,
Weeds.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Florida or Miami.
I see. I've never
Dexter.
seen Weeds.
No, Weeds is the show. Oh, it's a show. You should both watch it up to season 4 and then switch it off. It's a great show. Any guesses for 7? I don't know who went first last time.
Can I just say, when I saw that, for some reason, I think just the word crystal, I thought it was Steven Universe, and then I was like, no, that's Beach City, you dick. That's what I was expecting to come up, Beach City, but obviously it didn't.
Right. No, that was too easy, I think.
Is it Friday the 13th?
Yeah, I also put Friday the 13th.
It is indeed. Camp Crystal Lake. That's where he's going to get you, or his mother is going to get you in the first one.
Spoiler,
I guess. Sunnydale, California. Chris.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Roni.
That's what I have.
Yeah,
I could hear it being said. I know I haven't seen the show, but bizarrely I could hear you saying it, Dan. Do you know what I mean when talking about the show?
Yeah, maybe that could very well be it. So Cape Side, Massachusetts.
I didn't really know. I put Boston Legal.
I went for a complete guess and put Psycho.
Dawson's Creek.
I've never seen a full episode of Dawson's Creek.
Oh, disappointing.
I don't want to wait.
I didn't need the theme tune. So, the next one. Raccoon City. Any guesses?
No, I got no idea. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I put Resident Evil.
Yes, that's exactly right. But I had to look it up because it turns out, because of the way the first one is done in that side place, they end up in Raccoon City at the end of the first movie, and it doesn't feature prominently till the second one.
And that is exactly why I didn't put Resident Evil.
So I would have taken any Resident Evil based answer for that one because of my own cock up. Because that's my own fault. But Raccoon City is from Resident Evil.
Get your shit together, Dan.
Round 6 is my sports round.
Oh,
now,
fuck.
Oh no, we gotta do points. Let's come back to that, because that's you've both got the exact same amount of points, so that doesn't separate you at all.
Oh yeah, because we both got the same right and the same 2 wrong. You
both got 7 points, which doesn't help anything. That has made absolutely no adjustment.
Yeah, we both got 8.
Oh shit! Yeah,
oh no, we didn't. No, we both got 7 wrong because we didn't get Weeds right.
Hold on.
Oh, you got Resident Evil. No, Ronnie's got 1 more point than me. Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, I got 7.
Balls.
And Ronnie got 8.
Yeah, so there is a point in it. Sorry, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Good job on double checking with you guys.
It's just the patriarchy at work again.
I'll keep. Well, I said I'll keep. Well, no, it's because what happened was, instead of marking down you got it right, I then blanthered on about whether it technically counted or not. That's what happened there.
Honestly,
that was predictable.
Yeah. So the scores at the end of that round, Ronnie gaining a point back on Chris, puts Ronnie still in the lead with 28 points to Chris's 23. I think it's now... there are 5 questions in the next round. If Chris gets them all right, and Ronnie gets them all wrong, then we go to the tiebreaker.
Come on!
If Chris gets a single question wrong, all you have to do, Ronnie, is get 1 right, and you're out of this.
I desperately hope that I get them all wrong and he gets them all right.
Yeah.
Just so we have a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, the round is called...
Very specific Power Rangers episodes. Right, let's do this.
So this is
I'm back in the
game. This is my, in quote marks, sports round. Now, I noticed over a series of years that Andy Murray He's quite a mysterious figure. For those who don't know, he's a famous British tennis player. Well, it depends if he's winning or not. He's a British tennis player until he's losing, and then he's definitely not a British tennis player.
And then he's just Scottish.
Then he's just Scottish, absolutely. I've noticed his post-game interviews, it was impossible to tell whether he just won the match he was talking about or just lost the match he was talking about from his tone of voice.
Okay, I love this.
It's kind of incredible. Now, what I've done is I've taken 5 clips of Andy Murray from various interviews, and I have one or two of them I have slightly edited to take out the direct reference to winning or losing.
Okay.
But it is otherwise untouched. And you've got to tell me from basically his tone of voice if you think he won that match and was Mary Murray, or he lost that match and was Mardy Murray.
Okay.
Yeah? We both on board?
Yeah. So I've never been more on board with anything in my life.
Now.
And I say that as a man who's proposed.
Now, with this round, we're going to do the questions answers as we did with the last audio round as well. So that means we'll do the question and we'll immediately get the answer to that, because you want to know straight away, right, with this one. So you've got the voice clip in your head to know. Yeah. So, question 1. Listen carefully.
Definitely last sort of 10 years of my life, I always wanted to try and win a Grand Slam, and having come close a few times, and the disappointment of the Wimbledon final in a 5-set match against Djokovic.
So is that Mary Murray or Mardy Murray? Would you like to hear it one more time?
I think this is what is known as being British.
Yeah.
This is just what British people do.
That is
the shame here is the minute Ronnie and I give the same answer, the whole quiz is spun. But
well, it's 50-50, isn't it? You flip a coin a couple times, it might land on the same
but
side,
if Ronnie and I give the same answer, Ronnie's winning.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
No. If you get all of them right, she has to get all of them wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's true. But we can still carry on.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm not suggesting not this. Not fucking.
Actually, I've got somewhere to be, guys.
I think that's him winning.
Yeah, I put Mary as well.
Yeah,
Mary Murray. That's after a winning. You're both absolutely right. That was after winning against Novak Djokovic 3-2 at the US Open. So maybe it is possible to tell whether he's lost or won from his tone. We'll see as this quiz goes on. But that does mean that Ronnie will be, taking home.
Thank you.
She is now impossible to catch.
I mean, we'll do the tiebreaker anyway, but
you think we should do the
tiebreaker?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
Okay. So, question 2. Listen carefully. Or don't bother. It's 50-50. You might as well take a fucking guess.
I have to try and look at the positives of the last few months, and I think I'm going in the right direction. I think I dealt with the situations and the ebbs and flows in that match well, and I felt much more comfortable on the court today than even I did at the US Open.
So good, you just cannot tell.
I mean, that can't be a win. That's got to be Mardy Murray,
I'm putting down Mardy.
That is indeed after losing. Okay, maybe this is easier to tell than I thought.
They're very similar, but there's just like a vibe or something.
Oh, yeah, we're only 2 out of 5, Ron. I wouldn't say that yet.
That was straight after the 2013 Australian final. Yeah, 3-2 to Novak Djokovic. Question 3.
I didn't find that much difference. I was just really nervous because it was a slam final. Obviously, a different opponent on the other side of the net who caused me, different problems, and it's a different challenge to playing Novak or Roger.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. How do we feel? Mary or Mardy Murray?
I put Mary.
Yeah, I think Mary.
You think Mary? Think that was after winning? That was indeed after winning against Milos Raonic. Raonic. In straight sets at the 2016 Wimbledon final. That is a man who's just won Wimbledon. Can I play that again with that in mind? Listen, this is a man who just won Wimbledon. And listen to it one more time. Sorry, but here it goes.
I didn't find that much difference. I was just really nervous because it was a slam final. Obviously, a different opponent on the other side of the net who caused me, different problems, and it's a different challenge to playing Novak or Roger.
Unbelievable.
I think shortly after that, I did stand up somewhere. And I did a piece on that because what was worse is the other guy was so much more emotional about losing. And whilst the guy was crying and giving a speech, Murray was just stood there holding the trophies with this just look on his face of like, yeah.
It's kind of amazing. So, apparently we're proving this is actually very doable because you're both 3 for 3 right now. Question number 4.
I had amazing support again here, and it's been probably my most consistent Grand Slam throughout my career, and just the support I've had here over my career has been amazing, so thanks for that.
This is a long one, if I remember rightly. There's another bit after the crowd died down.
We put in a lot of hard work to try and get back in this position after what was a difficult year last year. And
there you go. So is that Mardy Murray or Mary Murray?
I actually put Mary again.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think Mary. That one. I would be surprised if it was Mardy.
That was Mardy Murray. That was after losing to Novak Djokovic.
That's the most upbeat and positive he's spoken in any of the clips.
All of them.
That was after immediately you could hear they were still on the court after losing to Novak Djokovic 3-1 at the 2015 Australian Open.
When you do this one again, put this like second or third to fuck with people.
Yeah. Question 5. This is the last one on Mary or Mardy Murray. Are we listening carefully?
I've played Novak many times, and I think when everyone's finished playing, he's going to go down as one of the biggest fighters. He's come back so many times from losing positions, and so that made it extra tough, and I don't know.
Mary.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
you think that's
I put
Mary.
Ronnie?
Ronnie?
I put Mary.
That is indeed Mary. That is a man who's just won Wimbledon in straight sets against Djokovic in the 2013 final. That is a man who just won Wimbledon. Like I cannot express how odd it is that he speaks that way when he's.
You ever considered, Dan, that he's just got a deep voice?
He sounds bored constantly.
He does.
He sounds utterly. It's impossible from his tone of voice to tell. Oh, well, not apparently, because you guys got 4 out of 5. Well done to both of you. I think that's incredible.
Thank you. Well done, Chris.
The tiebreak
well done.
question.
We can't handshake, but
yeah, good game. Good game.
We just look like we're giving an invisible man a hand job, but
wow. Can you tell? Can you see his label though? That's the real question.
That is the real question.
No, even if I was stood up, you wouldn't be able to see it. They haven't built a webcam high res enough to capture that.
No, the correct word, Chris, microscope is the word you're looking for, not webcam. So the tiebreaker question I prepared was just a quick one to sort of separate you guys, and it was just name the year this film was released, I should say. Closest wins. I was also going to ask you guys to put the month down, because obviously that way, if you both happen to have the right year, then we could do it that way.
Okay.
And that should separate us. So the film in question is quite simply Citizen Kane. So if you could both have a month and a year for when you think Citizen Kane was released.
I don't know the month. I think I know the year.
I'm going January 1958.
I'm going October 1941.
Wow, that you got the year exactly right. It is indeed 1941, Ronnie, and it was May. But I mean, by clear.
Thank you.
And a big round of applause for Dan's quiz as well.
Yeah,
Great
round
quiz.
of applause. Round of applause.
Lovely quiz. Don't applaud yourself. Fucking hell, we can see you.
I gave 2 claps. I gave 2 slow claps, which according to you means I fucking didn't care. I was being sarcastic.
Can I give?
So
there you go.
I was just going to say, very final scores, if we're including the tiebreak question, was Ronnie won on 33 points to your 27, Chris.
Well done, Ron.
Not actually, let's be honest.
Not a massive gap.
It was not a slaughtering. It was a nice, solid win. So absolutely another little for Ronnie, I think.
If I could hear backwards theme tunes, that would have been much closer.
I mean, I still think. Would Roni have still won? I mean, how many did she get on that? If you got the same score in that round. She did trash you in that round. Yeah, that's about the difference in score, actually. So that would have made it much, much tighter. Maybe
I think Roni did brilliantly.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I hope everyone had fun doing that. I thought it was one of those things where like that could really either have gone any way when I was doing such a weird quiz. So yeah, it's over. Now go read a book and make up for the lost brain cells you from doing the quiz. I think that's the rule.
Can I make a suggestion? I've suggested this to Roni, and Roni thought it was a good idea for the next episode of Nothing But Static.
Okay.
So I think we should give Hamilton the honour it deserves, Dan. I don't think it should be a bonus episode. I think we should say that us reviewing Hamilton is the next episode of Nothing But Static. That doesn't mean to say there will be a 2-week gap between that and this. We will probably put it up sooner than that, in fact.
Yeah, I imagine we'll do it the Sunday after this.
Yeah, something like that. So I think, though, Dan, fundamentally, I'm watching something that you love and adore and feel incredibly personally connected to. 2 hours, 45 minutes worth of it on Disney+. So I think that we should not just, to make it a full episode, we should not just review Hamilton. And the episode should be called Boy Meets Hamilton. And you should also watch 7 episodes of Boy Meets World.
It's only fair, Dan. It's only fair.
How is that only fair?
It's only fair.
Because we're both watching 2 hours, 45 minutes of content the other person loves.
Hamilton is like a fucking, like, lauded, award-winning, critically acclaimed musical, and you're making me watch Boy Meets World.
Yeah, I mean, not to compare the two.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm forcing you to watch something that you know is probably pretty good.
Yeah. I think Boy Meets World is astounding.
I mean, I have to do it. You've thrown me under the Boy Meets World shaped bus, and now I have to do it. But
Boy Meets World got a 5 out of 5 from someone on Amazon called C. Billingham.
And then he also had a second review of 1 star and said not any wolves and no butt stuff. So I don't know what's going on.
Also, my DVD arrived too late.
I think it's a shame because I'm most nostalgic for the later seasons, but I will make it simpler. Instead of darting around, I will just say the first 7 episodes of Boy Meets World.
Look, I will take it. I will do it. No problem. I just, dear oh dear, I'm gonna have to watch. I mean, the other thing is, at the moment, the plan, like, I'm back at work this week, so
yeah, we might need to work that out because we don't want to delay Hamilton for you to watch 7 episodes of Boy Meets World.
But I think that's fine. I think that's I mean, you can tell by the fact that I'm sort of stumbling around right now that what I really want to say is absolutely not fuck off. But but what's having to come out of my mouth is like it's like the award show when the guy that loses pretends to be gracious, and instead of going, no, that guy won it, I'm going, you got to admit, Boy Meets World sounds interesting.
You know what? If it didn't lead to such a good episode title, I probably wouldn't suggest it. But the cleverness of Boy Meets Hamilton, considering this is you finally making me watch Hamilton, made it too irresistible.
Yeah, because we've already had an episode called Danilton. My suggestion for the title of the next week's episode was Christleton. I just thought it just made a lot of sense because you were finally watching it. But yeah, I guess next week we're reviewing Hamilton and Boy Meets World. That's very exciting.
I look forward to listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Let's do. We got a few minutes before the timer runs out. Let's do quick, Ronnie. What was your actual best film of last year?
Of 2019. It was really difficult actually because I was going between 2 films for a while. Eventually, I decided upon Parasite being my number 1, and my number 2 that I was fighting with was 1917.
I haven't seen Parasite, but I think I loved 1917. But I think there's lots of facets to judge, and I think there are some areas that 1917 excels at, and some that it doesn't quite.
They're incredibly different movies, but I have seen 1917 like 6 times now. I forced my brother to go to see it in the cinema because I was like, so when are we going to see 1917? Because I'd already seen it. And he was like, I'll wait until you get it on Blu-ray. And I said, no, you won't. You can't just see it on Blu-ray. So I forced him to go and see it with me.
No, if there was any film last year that you had to see in the cinema, it was that one.
Yeah.
Even over better films. You know, there weren't many. It was a really great film. But like, even the couple of films I think might have pipped it, I still would have said go see 1917 before it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's
for me
one of the films they're re-releasing when cinemas open.
It is. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly correct. For me, it was Knives Out.
I love Knives Out. I saw it.
It was just how do you not get like? How do you not love that film? Like, it was just such a pleasant surprise. It was fun, but it was also intriguing. Good drama, good acting, like good everything. I thought it was an absolute masterpiece of storytelling.
I saw Knives Out at the London Film Festival. Brag. And
so did I. Were you seriously at the Leicester Square?
Yes, but I was at press.
Oh, so you got to sit down in the good bit?
Yeah.
We were at the same screening of Knives Out. I had no idea.
But.
Did you get to see Jojo Rabbit that way?
Yeah. I was at the press bit, so I was in the Odeon.
Yeah, the Leicester Square Odeon.
Oh, okay.
I was in the top bit.
Oh.
Miles up.
Okay.
Like, so far back.
And it was like one of the most enjoyable cinematic experiences.
It was interesting because for the first sort of 10 minutes of that screening, I noticed the audience weren't quite laughing when it was time to be laughing. And then
it took them.
It was like they weren't.
It takes them a while to warm up, yeah.
And I figured this out afterwards. I was like, that audience really gave me an idea of what this film is doing. It's sort of like, it almost teaches you to know it's okay to laugh at some of these dark jokes, like right early on. So by the 10-15 minute mark, everyone was on board and laughing, and it was a really warm atmosphere in that room. But prior to that, it had been cold and like there was a few minutes of just people not really being sure whether they were allowed to laugh at jokes about a dead dude. Like, I don't know. It was. I loved that film, and that experience really struck out. I mean, I nearly got to see Jojo Rabbit at the screening as well, but I couldn't get squeezed in the end. It didn't quite work out. But it's so funny we were at the same screening. If I'd have known you were there, we could have high-fived on the way out.
And then
not
just
got
went
a drink or caught up or anything. Just had a little high
five and then go our separate ways.
I nearly said that, but then I thought, you know what's even funnier is if we just acknowledged it and then moved on. Like, we were both with other people and we were just passing and just like, suddenly just like high five a stranger and off we go. I
think mine would either be 1917 or it's an incredibly typical answer, but when I think about most excitement in a theatre, most enjoyment, I have to go Endgame.
Yeah. Endgame was great.
It was wonderful. I think Parasite's my number 2, and then 1917 is my 3rd. Jojo Rabbit is my 4th, I think.
Jojo Rabbit is my 3rd, and then Marriage Story.
Marriage Story was great. I didn't see that till after the cinema, though. I saw that
I saw that in London as well.
I loved I know it's got its flaws, but I loved The Irishman as well.
That wasn't on my list. I liked it.
I did really like
it a lot.
Irishman.
So my top 10 of last year was Parasite, 1917, Jojo Rabbit, Marriage Story, Little Women, Knives Out, Midsummer, Uncut Gems, Waves, and then Avengers Endgame.
I didn't see Waves, but I saw all the others, and I've Uncut Gems blew my mind.
Would you like to hear my worst of the year?
Yes.
Oh, please.
Yes.
From 10 to 1, it was The Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah, that was awful.
Absolutely.
Godzilla,
King of the Monsters.
See, now I saw that in IMAX, at the BFI IMAX, and that was somebody smashing toys together, and I was fine with it.
No, it was the most boring thing.
All the stuff with the humans drove me out of my mind, but all the awesome monster fighting stuff I was so on board for.
And then Serenity, the one with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Black Christmas.
That's the remake, right? So I've seen the original. I have no interest in seeing the sequel. The remake, sorry.
Well, it's a remake of the remake.
That's right. So it's a remake of that. So I saw the middle one, one from like the thousands.
Yeah, 2006.
Back when that came out. Yeah, I saw that in a cinema and was like, "This is terrible." So I went back and watched the original, which I remember thinking was all right. And then I didn't even want to chance the next remake. Did you see Invisible Man by any chance?
Yeah, I did. That's my number 1 of this year so far. If I get to see any other films
It's not Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys
It's not
3.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Wait, you're telling me that the Invisible Man is ahead of Sonic the Hedgehog?
It is.
All right.
But the rest of my worst of the year
Different
was
strokes.
Midway, which was a Roland Emmerich movie.
Yep.
Rambo: Last Blood, Wounds.
Oh god, that was what was that Rambo film? Seriously.
Number 4 was Wounds, which I also saw in London and was terribly enjoyable because everybody hated it. 3, The Hustle. 2, Secret.
Oh yeah, The Hustle was good.
Secret Obsession. And
No, this is Ronnie's worst. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I thought The Hustle was awful.
The Hustle, I didn't laugh once.
Yeah.
And number
I did
1.
not enjoy The Hustle at all.
Oh wait, I'm mixing two films up. I think. Not The Hustle. Was there
You're
a
thinking of
film?
like Hustlers, like the Jennifer Lopez movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Hustlers.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Hustlers.
We're thinking
not
of the
Hustle.
Rebel Wilson and Hathaway. It
Yeah,
was,
I
it
know.
was
I
fine.
didn't even see The Hustle.
Yeah.
The trailer was enough. I was thinking of Hustlers, which I think is from last year anyway.
It was all right. It's just not what a Rebel Wilson and Hathaway film should have been, in my opinion.
My number 1 worst of the year was the Motley Crue Netflix movie The Dirt,
I haven't seen that.
which I fucking hated.
And I don't think I saw that. That's not been given the time of day from me. But of course, we all know your favourite film of the year is soon to become Hamilton. Obviously.
I don't
not a
know
real
if I
movie, though,
would.
is it?
Yeah, I don't know if I would count that.
Just gonna take.
In all seriousness, I don't know if that would count any more
Yeah.
than NT Live Fleabag would count.
Yeah. I wouldn't put the Tom Hiddleston Coriolanus in my top 10 of the year.
The intention was to have it released in theatres not as an event cinema thing, but with an actual theatrical run. The only reason they pulled that was because of the Rona.
What do we do now? We've got less than a minute. Are you doing a quick wrap up, Dan? Where can people find you, Ronnie?
Oh, people can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ronnie Coops, which is RONICOOPS, because I realised that I'm the one who spells Ronnie weirdly.
That's fair and reasonable. Well, there you go. Yeah, so you can get me and Chris on Twitter at Dan Doolan, Chris at C Billingham. Podcasts. Go on.
Can I just very quickly say, to make editing even worse, can we each, after the call dies, record our own bonus bit for after the credits, and then Dan can edit the three of them?
Well, yeah, just leave it recording, say a weird thing, and then okay, great.
Right, carry on with the end.
Well, we're about to get cut off, but that is everything for this week. Thanks very much for being with us. I've been Dan Doolan. One of you guys.
I've been Chris Billingham.
I've been Ronnie Cooper.
And that's been everything for this week on our after party. Nothing but static.
Bye.
Boom. We did it, guys. It was a pleasure.
We did
Thank
it.
you so much. Woo! That was good fun, guys. Thank you very much. Me too.
That feels like a genuine after bit to leave.
Yeah, this
nice.
feels like a
nice
genuine
ending.
after bit.
Great quizzing,
keep it
Dan.
like this.
Great work with the quiz.
Great quizzing, everyone. Great quizzing, everyone. We all did good quizzing, whether it was making or
Look at us.
answering questions.
You made a good
Friends.
quiz. I aced the quiz. Chris was somewhere in between.
Chris
I was
there.
probably the most entertaining of the three of us. So I'm joking. That was, of course, Ronnie.
Always. Every time I'm like, fuck, why are we doing a podcast?
I know every time I'm like, why isn't Ronnie doing a podcast? But I can berate her about that off air.
I'll think about it.
There we go. It's done. Bye.